I felt like getting out here and lowering myself to the level of the worm. I need to do this more often. You know, when we were little kids, we had any problem about rolling around on the ground, making snow angels, and just smelling the grass. Oh, it's great. And I wonder what kind of position Jesus was in when he taught the people on the hillsides, because he'd say, "Consider the lilies." Maybe he was already down on the ground like this. Maybe people would gather around close. Or would he stand above them and look down? I don't think so. And the Lord's taught me so much. I don't know where to start. I just hope I can remember it. I guess that's one of the reasons, too, why I decided to get down low, because I'm right in front of some forget-me-nots. They're little puny little flowers. Just the teeniest little things. I mean, look how little that is compared to my finger. But yet such a beautiful, beautiful flower. But you can't really get the full appreciation of unless you lower yourself, get down low, and look at them. They're so, I can't see that close even, but they're so beautiful and they're so tiny. We got bazillions of them around here. I mean, this is just one little patch, and there's a lot of other junk that needs to be like yanked out of here. You know, there's nothing wrong with this thing. I just don't want a maple tree growing here. Ugh! I remember one time talking to. Ugh! Oh man, that sucker's good. Down in there too. And there's a life lesson to be learned. Ugh! Wow, look at that thing really took root, huh? There's a life lesson that could be drawn from this. Let's see if God gives me one here. Well, what are these things doing? This is why I want to yank these suckers out. Look what these maple trees are doing. Just like those Canadians, you know. Those Canucks and their maple trees, you know. No, actually, this makes me think about my friend Tim's wife, Sue. Tim of KJV Only 01. I remember out here one time chit-chatting with her last summer while I was yanking out maple. I didn't make the connection then, but okay, look, there's another one. Well, anyways, there must be some reason the Lord's brought this to mind. But whatever comes out, it's not directed at Tim or Sue. But one of the things, you know, the reason why I got to yank these out is because, look, they oh, well, I just knocked my glasses off, you know. They overshadow these little guys, these pretty flowers, and they can't grow. So let me yank these suckers out of here, and goodness gracious, look what else I'm finding. Ooh, wild violets. Look at that. There's a wild violet right there. There's a wild violet foliage, and here's the wild violets. But I wouldn't see those unless I yank out these ugly maple leaves. You know, like, I'm not gonna make any connection with the Toronto Blue Jays or nothing. They're having a hard enough year as it is, okay? So we'll leave that aside, because that's not the point of this video. But it is funny, because I was out here pulling up these little maple trees when I was talking to Sue last summer. I remember the day it was, too, because I was supposed to actually go to a kid's graduation party. My wife's... Hey, now, I don't like this pose, you know. I'm looking down at you now, so I'm gonna get back down low. Oh, and look at this, look at this. Look at that forget-me-not. There's like little pink ones growing within the little blue ones there. All right, enough of that. I started off with saying, consider the lilies. Actually, there's some lilies here, too. Let me show you one. Lily of the valley. You know, the Bible says that Jesus is the lily of the valley. He's the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. Here it is over here. Let me inch along like a worm. And I'll show you this. Lily of the Valley. These are the most fragrant little flowers. I tell you, they smell great. You know, sometimes you just gotta stop and smell the lilies. Oh man, I'm serious. Too bad this wasn't smell-o-vision. Wait, let me put that up there. Doesn't that smell good? I won't be able to smell these things unless I was crawling around the ground like a worm. All right, so there is no connection. Maybe you drew something out of this with, you know, me crawling on the ground and talking about these maple leaves overshadowing the beautiful flowers. And there's really no point to this video. But is there ever a point to my videos? No, but if there was one to be made, I guess it would be, if God needs to bring you down low, do so. And while you're down there, you've heard it said before, stop and smell the flowers. I'm hoping to show you some other plants around here sometime. I'm the crawling gardener. Oh, there's a dandelion. All right, we'll talk about them another time.